Good afternoon, good evening. This is 365 Strong podcast, uh, actually on Zoom, and we're going to be talking with Tom Bowman, who is the world leading master squat champion out of Atlanta, Georgia. I just wanted to run through a couple different meets coming up. June 13th, we've got the backyard Challenger Series starting with a meet in Cornelius. And then on June 27th, we're going to be at Forest, Virginia. July 11th, Concord, North Carolina. July 18th, Fayetteville. July 25th, we're going to be in Indiana at Evansville, the Grind. And then August 1st, we're going to be in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Getting into our regular schedule on August 22nd, we're going to go with the Kentucky Power Revolution, and that's going to be in Greensburg, Kentucky. September 19th, the Charlotte Spring Fest at Pride Conditioning in Charlotte. And then October 17th and 18th, we've got the World Powerlifting Games coming to Charlotte, and that will be at Mountain Valley Gym, which will be, well, it's right off 485, not too far from the airport. So anybody flying in, it's maybe a 5-minute trip from the airport. Okay, as soon as Tom gets on the call, we're going to go ahead and talk to him at depth about what's made him a champion, a world all-time leader in squat. Don't tell Tom I said this, but that's if you can keep a secret. Tom's 64 years old, and Tom achieved an 825 squat. That's unbelievable. So Tom has a very interesting journey that led him to today's Zoom meeting, and we're going to hear all about it in just a few seconds. Okay, if you want to find out what's coming up, join or enter our website at www.365strong.org. And it's got all the information, updated information as far as coming events, as far as records, as far as best of the best in every weight class, every division, no matter if it's tested or untested. Okay, we're waiting on Tom. Tom's in Atlanta, so there isn't any time variance. I'm in my garage. It's about 92 degrees. Had to open the door. There was no way I was going to be able to do this with that door shut. Okay. Again, we still have a couple slots open for next weekend, June 13th in Cornelius, North Carolina, at Gaining Dedication Personal Fitness Studio in Cornelius. And then June 27th at Bill Gillespie's location in Forest, Virginia. July 11th, we're going to be in Concord at John Borick's home gym. It's all these home gyms or small establishments are unbelievable. They're well stocked. We're going to be bringing our kilo plates as well as any other equipment that they may need to make sure that our lifters are treated the way that you're used to when you lift with 365. In July 18th, we're going to be in Fayetteville. Hopefully we'll be able to be at Rhino's gym. If not, we'll be in somebody's parking lot in Fayetteville, but we will be there. And July 25th, we're going to be at the Grind Gym in Evansville, Indiana. And for some reason, they have access. August 1st in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, we're going to be at Muzz's Gym in North Wilkesboro. And then we'll get into our regular, after the backyard Challenger Series is completed with the 6 meets coming up. We're going to get into our regular schedule on August 22nd with the Kentucky Power Revolution. And again, that's going to be held in Greensburg, Kentucky. September 19th, Spring Fest in Charlotte. October 17 and 18, we're going to be at the World Games in Charlotte as well. You see the sign behind me. I was over at Dynabody this past week, over in Maryville, Tennessee. Picked up a couple items. I've got the deadlift bar jack that has our logo and name on it, and then also we've got the plate trees. So again, no matter what a location is going to need, as far as equipment, we're going to be able to bring it and make sure that, again, the lifters will be able to prepare accordingly. Okay, Tom just gave me a call. He's a little technically challenged. Self-admittedly, he didn't know how the Zoom link worked, so I emailed him that link, and he's in the process of clicking on that. And of course, you're going to hear the excuses coming out of his mouth when he gets on the line here. If he can figure out how to click that link. All right?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, let me get some visual.
I'm technically illiterate.
No, you're doing a great job.
Start my video.
Oh, there you are.
There you go.
Got a heck of a glare off of your forehead there.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm probably.
Are you in the garage?
No, I'm in my dining room. I've got the screen door, glass door behind me.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm in the garage.
Oh,
I had
okay.
to open the door. It was steaming. But anyway, Tom Bowman is with us today. Tom put up an 825 all-time best squat for the master division, multiply. It was, and Tom, you still have that. That was achieved a couple years ago, but you still have that record. The closest person to you is 804. Of course, I've been told he's going to go for that record.
Well, and hopefully around November, December, I'm going to bump that thing up to about 850.
Okay, okay, I hear you. Well, tell us a little bit about your journey. What got you started in the powerlifting and what brought you to today?
And I started when I was 15 years old. I asked my dad for a 110-pound set, and he said, well, when you prove to me that you'll work out, I'll buy you a set. So I took 2 5-gallon buckets, cemented a 6-foot pole in the middle of them. That's what I started with. Then I just started lifting, been lifting for since I was 15, which is 50 years ago.
Jeez. And did you always lift multiply? Tell us that.
Yeah, I've always lifted multiply, what I call a loose multiply, because I don't like it. I don't like stuff real tight.
Well, I noticed, do you use multiply gear when you're doing anything but squatting?
No, I use an old marathon, probably a 70s marathon squat suit. Looked like a wrestling singlet.
Okay. Okay. So really, the only lift that you lift multiply is squat.
Right, and the only place it's tight is a little bit around my. I wear Inzer briefs, and then I got kind of a loose suit, and I do have pretty tight wraps on my knees. And that's it.
Yeah. Well, now I know you haven't always been just a squatter, because I noticed I took a journey back myself and saw that you were deadlifting almost as much as you were squatting.
Yeah, I was fortunate a couple of years ago. Until I realized how much his record was, I was shooting for Ernie's deadlift record until I realized how much it was. He's got 800. I think most of mine was 702.
702.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long ago was that?
I think 3 or 4 years ago.
3 or 4 years ago. So you've been maintaining that strength level.
Yeah.
Have you had any major injuries through the years?
Yeah, I've got my left pec is I got a pec and a half, about basically what it amounts to, and then both my elbows are sewed up. So when I go and do the bench segment of my powerlifting, I usually just take a token 135 and 185, and I'm done with it, because I can't handle the weight no more. If I'm doing flies or something at home, my left hand, since half my pec's gone, just wanders all over the place.
Okay, now we're talking to a lot of newbies, but also veterans. So it's a mixed crowd. But for a newbie, what can you tell them as far as some basic workout intelligence?
Well, at my age right now, I used to kind of like have a heavy day, light day. Like if I was going to work my legs Monday, I might work them again on Thursday. I'd have the heavy day Monday, or no, light day Monday, then the heavy day Thursday. I have 2 days rest in between. And powerlifting, I think you need a little bit more. Personally, I think you need a little bit more rest in between than what a lot of the bodybuilders do. And especially as you get older. Now I've switched to where I do my legs or squats once a week. You know, I don't think I can handle the 2 days a week at 65 years old.
Right, and the same goes for
Same goes with the bench, and the deadlifting. Everything right now for me is 1 day a week. And I have assistance exercises that I go with that stuff.
Okay, talk more about the assistance work.
On squats, I'll do I'll do my squat workout, and then I will, if I'm at the gym, I'll use a belt squat machine to emulate the front squats, because I like to do front squats too, but I do those for reps, because back in the early 70s I was an Olympic lifter also. And then I do a lot of leg extensions and leg curls. That's pretty much it.
Now, I understand that you competed 8 years, or you just participated 8 years in karate.
Yes.
How did that help you?
Well, if I would stretch, it would have helped me a lot. My idea of bending over and touching my toes is bending my knees to go with it. Matter of fact, I was just laying in the floor working under the sink, and getting back up was the trip.
Okay, so it takes you 2 trips to get up when you're under the sink.
Yeah, if I'm doing anything wrong now, especially at my age, is not staying flexible.
Okay, so would you say even a youngster starting out in their early 20s, late teens, would you suggest a stretching routine?
Oh, I definitely would, because it would help keep the injuries away.
Okay, before or after?
I would probably I would probably spend 30, 40 minutes before my workout stretching.
Now,
You know,
do you regularly add ice after a workout or heat? Wet heat?
I really haven't been doing any of that. If I pulled the muscle, I would probably put the ice to it. But I've been real fortunate. I haven't pulled no muscles in a while.
Okay, so as far as your mentality to your workouts, how have they changed other than getting older and taking maybe more of a break? How has your philosophy changed, or has it?
I'm pretty tunnel vision. I've always loved working out. It's my stress relief. I really and truly, even at my age, hopefully I'm a lot smarter than I was 20 years ago, and I really don't think I've lost a lot of strength, because hopefully my technique's a lot better than it was when I was 20 years ago too. And I'm pretty I got a license as an ISSA trainer, so that made me be more alert of things, because I'm trying to help young boys that are wanting to get into powerlifting or football players and stuff. I've been helping them, so it's made me be more cognizant of my form too.
Now, do you cycle for a meet? As far as your workout sets, rep, do they diminish as you get closer to a meet?
Yeah, usually I'll pick out
Tell us a
about
little
3
bit
months.
about.
Yeah, usually I'll pick out about three to 3.5 months before a meet, and then is like you said, I usually don't go over about 5 or 6 reps anyway. And then as I get closer to meet, my the weight will increase and the rep range will stop. Now, usually what I do after I reach my maximum limit of where I wanted to go, then I usually do 1 or 2 down sets of some reps to get some blood flowing, whether I'm at a meet or not.
Speaking of blood flowing, how do you get in that zone right before you lift, no matter if it's a workout or in a meet? What puts you in the zone?
Well, when I'm in the gym practicing, it's just if I'm in the gym with a bunch of guys, we got a bunch of guys that will just yell at each other. I'm one of those that likes to get slapped in the face a couple times, but and at a meet I do too. But when I'm at home, I usually just get into it. I stare at the wall or what I'm staring at, and just go in and do it.
So nobody beats you in a workout?
No, at the meets they do.
They beat
Steve
you.
Goggins, well, he would slap me in the face and yell some obscenities to me, and then I would go ahead and do it, because my wife, first time she saw that, she didn't like that too well.
So your trigger mechanism is getting slapped.
Right.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
I would prefer to get slapped on the back of the neck or something, but not the face.
I gotta tell you, Tom. I used to be a head beater. I used to go up to the bar and pound my head against the bar. How's that for knocking the zone into you, basically?
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's something.
Yeah, it was insane. I admit it.
Yeah.
But as soon as I was done with probably a 2 headbutt, I'd get under the bar and go from there.
Oh yeah.
Or a music, a trigger mechanism, to a lot of lifters is music. And as you well know,
my wife would always ask me when she sees me at a meet. One, without my glasses, I can't see 5 foot in front of me, but it looks like I'm staring at something. Usually, what I'm staring at 45 degrees at the corner of the end of the room, but I can't actually see it. She was asking me, "What do you look at? Do you look at somebody in the crowd?" I said, "Well, first off, I couldn't see nobody in the crowd, anyways. It's all a blur to me. If I could, I look up, because I'm a big proponent of somebody looking up. When you look down, you're going to lean over.
Yep, you look down, you're going to follow yourself.
Yep.
Chest caves in, back, leans over.
And if the weight's heavy enough, you have a tendency sometimes to lean forward a little bit.
Well, not only that, your butt comes out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you're not going to make depth.
Right.
So you make it twice as hard. And that goes for the deadlift technique as well?
Yeah, when I finish with the deadlift, if I could get my neck all the way back, I'm looking as high up as I can.
I hear you.
You know, because it's, you know, that shoots your hips back in and everything else.
Right. That fast twitch off the floor, maybe not as fast as it used to be, but that's the technique.
I've been debating on whether to switch to sumo because I've got short legs and long arms, but it's just anatomically it makes more sense to me. It just don't feel right. And everybody that I know that's done a lot of sumo, those guys, like I say, they've cut their range of motion, but over years they seemingly have a lot of hip problems.
Now, when you approach let's say, whatever's on the bar to meet, do you think about weight or do you think about resistance? You don't worry about weight. What?
Normally, what I do, if I'm with Curtis, he usually comes with me, Curtis Leslie. He knows me well enough what to call. I don't even want to know what it is.
Right. So something like a brick that you're breaking in karate.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to think, hey, this is brick. Am I friggin' nuts?
Yeah, if I'm going like for 850 or something like that, and I try not to hear it over the loudspeaker, but if I'll sit there and think about the 850 and psychologically it messes with me, I'd rather just trust him, call it, and I'll just go for it.
Okay, so when you're lifting in 1 hour meets, I'm not going to tell you or anybody else what the weight is. How's that?
No, I can hear it sometimes, but
you want to hear it?
I don't concentrate on it.
Okay. And obviously, thinking through that brick, thinking through the resistance in the squat or deadlift or any lift is so imperative.
Yeah.
If you're thinking of the effort or the weight.
Yeah, you're going to talk yourself out of it.
Well,
right. Like I said, if you take that concentration off of coming up with it and start thinking about something else, you're not going to make it. I won't.
Now, what kind of, again, squat is your specialty, but deadlift, you were an excellent deadlifter. Is there any secrets or keys to deadlift other than when you go down, get your focal point high enough to keep your chest and back erect, get underneath the lift rather than get on top of the lift? Anything else, pointers that you can?
No, I just try to look up as much as I can. Like I said, as I've gotten older, my neck's a little stiffer, but try to look up. And I do a lot of, my sticking point is about middle shin. I do a lot of what I call high deadlifts, so you're starting from that part right there.
Right.
And I try to overload that. When half the time I'll use straps just to do more than what I can do, because I can get it up off the floor.
Right. It wasn't you that used Vince Nello's technique, was it?
What was that?
I trained with Vince.
Yeah.
He was my training partner for years. And one thing, Vince pretty much had a straight leg, but he was so unique.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
But I had seen Vince do an 885 with straps for 5.
Good grief.
But it's like any other sport. If you're really good at it, why change it? So he didn't have to change his. He used his strength. What we're saying, what Tom's saying, is you got to use all your strength. You got to use your legs. You got to use your back. You got to use your hips. Everything is critical, that everything's in a line, no matter if it's a squat, no matter if it's a deadlift. What are some of the fallacies that some of the lifters have that are powerlifting or want to be powerlifting that you see in the gym? Mistakes that people make.
Well, I tell you, I think a lot of times it's the simple things like your head location, where you're looking at, what you're looking at. Always keep your head up. Me, that's the biggest problem. I see a lot of them because if they're looking down, they're tilting over. A lot of guys. I had somebody ask me the other day why, because I use the old Inzer squat shoes that have no heels to them. It was back in the 70s. They used to use army boots, but I have a tendency to go forward a little bit. So Curtis had made the suggestion back 10, 15 years ago, why don't you go without some heels? So I tried it, and I sit back better. Because if I have the heels on there, I got a tendency to lean forward just a little bit. And so, because the guy at the gym the other day says, this is like wrestling shoes. And I said, well, it's not exactly wrestling shoes, but it's like that. I personally, I have to have no heels.
Yeah, that's what I use at wrestling slippers that you just slipped on, slipped off.
Yeah.
That worked for me. But, you know, you actually, when you think about it, you're pulling the bar less of a distance,
Right.
even
Oh,
though
yeah.
it's a half inch.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a difference.
Oh, yeah.
And if you believe it's going to make a difference, we all know that.
If you go down and pick up the bar, you have your body tilted forward a little bit anyway. And then if you're on a heel, inch heel or inch and a half heel, you're even more.
That's right. That's right. Now, what I've seen, and you may want to concur or may not, but sometimes people have to make a choice, no matter if they're going to be a bodybuilder or a powerlifter. Sometimes they're doing so many supplemental movements, like they're killing shoulders. So they're doing a ton of shoulder presses and all the supplements that go with it, but they want to be a big bencher. There's a time and a place, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. Yes, it's too. I was not a successful bodybuilder. I appreciate the what it takes to be one. Those guys work hard, but I don't like the subject. I didn't like the subjectivity of the sport. Meaning, you work real hard, and if Joe Blow knows the promoter, it's somebody's opinion in powerlifting. As long as you stay within a certain parameter of rules, either you pick it up or you don't.
Yeah, that never agreed with me as well. I didn't compete, but my wife did for a long time in bodybuilding. Now she's come to the dark side, powerlifting.
Yeah, well, bodybuilding is, and I mean, I hand it to the bodybuilders. That's a pretty discipline, and my biggest problem is the food side of it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I do like to eat stuff I ain't supposed to.
Now, when you're looking down the road, what's your goals?
Quite frankly, with the exception of the bench press, I would love nothing more to be Ernie France Jr. I just keep on going. I was looking at the record books the other day, and not counting my over 60 thing, but over 65, I can do that stuff now. I want to just keep going as long as God will let me.
Well, you've been doing something right, that's for sure.
Yeah.
When you're looking at a goal, what's the next step for you in squat?
That one meet we did in Augusta, it was a misload on that one thing, and it was I think it was 905 instead of 850. I got 3/4 of the way up, and I was leaning forward, and I couldn't finish it. I would eventually like to get 900, but my next goal was 850.
I think, well, obviously I haven't seen you in a couple of years other than right now.
Yeah.
But when I saw you last time, you have the strength. And I don't think anything's changed. Now, how big a deal is your training partners and your success?
There's a couple that I tend to want to be around, like Curtis. I don't know if you know Kerry Callahan.
Mm-hmm.
You know him?
I've met him. That's about it.
He's a little bit on the wild side, but those guys, we all know each other. We know how each other works out. We know each other's weaknesses and strengths. And like when I'm at a meet with Curtis, he doesn't even talk to me about what he picks as the weights because I trust him. He knows me well enough. And as far as the working out stuff, I usually figure that out. Working out up to a meet, I figure that stuff out myself. But I turn the whole meet over to him.
You did what? I'm sorry.
I turn the whole meet over to him as far as the attempts and stuff.
No, I'm with you. I think having a coach or having a manager, so to speak, that can wrap your knees, because wrapping your own knees, you and I both know, it just takes it out of you.
I was explaining it to a guy the other day because Marcus Brandon is the one that comes with me to wrap my knees. and that's the reason my calves are all brown, because he wraps them so tight. And I was trying to explain to somebody the other day, and they said, "Well, then when do you wrap your knees?" And I said, "Well, if you're on deck, that's when you wrap your first knee. Then the guy that's if you're in the hole, you wrap your first knee. Then when the guy on deck goes on, you wrap your other knee and hope they don't have a mislift, because I said once they'll get those things on there, you need to go up there and get it over with, because nothing's flowing down at the bottom."
Now, some of the strategy on the platform, I guess really off the platform, it starts in a warm-up. What kind of a process do you go through in the warm-up area before meet?
Usually, if I was going to want to squat 825 like I did down there, I would probably, in the warm-up, I'd just do singles. I'd probably go up to about 700 and stop.
So it's not a marathon
No.
at that point. Okay. Because one of the biggest mistakes that I see at our meets is in the warm-up room, we've got guys actually doing a mini workout.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Doing multiple sets and reps. In fact, I saw several people hitting their opener in the warm-up area.
Yeah, because well, especially as you get older, I don't have that kind of energy to do a workout and then go out and do a meet.
I'm with you. No, I'm with you. And then once you get on, do you chalk your knees before they wrap?
Marcus usually does, yeah.
Okay, and then you chalk your back so the bar doesn't slip. Okay, these are little things that I just kind of wanted to throw out there.
Oh, yeah.
For our listening base here.
And I wrap my, it's like in the deadlifts, I wrap make a fist, real tight fist, and then they wrap my wrist tight enough to where I can just barely open my hands at all. I can just lock them on the bar.
I've seen some multiply lifters, they do their opener with their workout suit, and then they do their second attempt and third attempt with their meat suit. Are you one of those guys?
No, I don't. I wished I could learn how to do it, but I can't do it with a real tight suit on either. I mean, I'll have my briefs on underneath, but bringing the strap down tight like that,
right,
it screws in my form a little bit.
Well, sometimes it's just a pain in the ass to get them off and on.
Yeah.
There's nothing else.
I hope you ain't got to use the bathroom in between.
That's right. That's critical.
Yeah.
And what do you do, as far as getting back into a zone? If you've got 12 people in front of you, you've done your first attempt. What keeps you in that zone? Or do you just relax and kind of take it in?
I sit back and relax, and I kind of listen to what's going on and stuff like that. I just don't pay attention to nothing in particular.
Okay.
And if I have some music, I'll do some of that, but I can sit back there and just relax, and I don't want to carry on conversations with people.
Okay. And the meet's over. You got a little bit of downtime before your next event. What's your off-season training? Is it different from your?
I go back as soon as the meet's over with. Probably I'll take maybe 2 or 3 days off, and I'm back on the regular schedule.
Okay. You've never had any issue making weight, have you? Since you've gone 275.
Yeah. Well, no, not on that, because I would always weigh about 248, 249. I'm weighing about 230 right now, so I'll probably bounce up to 240. I don't know that I'm going to go. I don't know. Depending if I get close, if I think I'm going to get close to the 850 or 900, I don't care. I don't care where I go.
It doesn't matter what weight class.
I don't want to be over 250.
You kind of feel bloated at that point. Sluggish?
Bloated, and my blood pressure tend to run up on me and stuff like that. Because my blood's kind of thick as it is.
Now, do you do any cardio in between?
I do an hour a day.
Hour a day?
Yeah, on my treadmill. And it's a moderate pace. It's usually probably about a little over 3 miles.
Okay. How about diet, nutrition, anything that you can share?
I do the seafood diet, the SEE food diet. I see it and I eat it. And I don't. I got to. I'm fortunate enough. That's one of the reasons I do the cardio. One, for my heart, and two, it allows me to eat. My metabolism slowed down a lot, but I still can eat a lot of different stuff. Now I've got a little tiny. I can pinch an inch here, but I can still see my abs and stuff. And I'm also fighting I have an umbilical hernia too.
A
I've
what?
had an umbilical hernia that I've had for about 4 years. So now it's got to the point where I usually have to put a pad in front of my stomach before I put my belt on, because I need to get it fixed, but I haven't, I don't want to take the couple months downtime right now.
No, I can understand that. You started competing in 365 in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
What brought you to our federation? I know you were lifting a lot with 2 or 3 different federations, but why 365, and what do you like about our federation?
Well, what I like about your federation, you're extremely involved. You're accessible. All your meets are put on going on. Curtis and I put on 2 meets, and I have all the utmost respect on you guys, because that most of the lifters have no idea what it takes to do all that stuff. And
Well, I don't know how many times I've turned to my wife and I said, damn, I wish I was lifting.
I'm telling you,
I'd be doing less work.
Yeah, it was tough. And then I've been a referee for a long time too, so you get to listen to all that kind of stuff. And depends on the federations too. There's some federations I ain't gonna go into it. There's some federations I won't lift in, because I don't agree with some of the rules and stuff. But the basic rules are all the same.
Yeah, they better be anyway, or if it's a different sport.
Yeah,
You're not looking at the same sport.
Yep.
The biggest thing that I like to do is make sure that we recognize all the lifters, not just
You do.
the chosen few, but I want to be able to communicate openly with everybody on an equal basis. I think communication leading up to any event is so critical. I don't know how many times that I entered a meeting, I didn't know what the heck was going on. When was weighing? What time was it? And the anxiety started to build.
Right.
I want to lessen people's anxiety.
Right.
And make sure they focus on the task at hand.
I've been fortunate when I go to meets to compete in them. I usually have Curtis or Marcus, somebody around that does all the footwork for me.
Grunt work. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're lifting and you still have to do all that, that takes away from everything.
Yeah, I thought I had that too. The first time I lifted in the Y Nationals in Columbus, I was going to open with, I think it was at 181, it was like 633 in squat.
That's good.
And I had not my regular manager there, but a couple other guys, which included my cousin who lives there, and a couple other lifters as well. But I said, I want you to let me know when there was like 18 in my flight. Let me know when there's 15 cards. So I did my first warm up 135.
Mm-hmm.
Did 225. All of a sudden I hear my name. I'm in the hole.
Yeah.
Oh man, we read the cards the wrong way.
Oh yeah.
So my last warm up, 225, I'm opening with 633. My adrenaline was going so fast that I blew it away. Well, that specific meet, and some of you folks out there, if you're watching, I had shared this with you previously, but that was Ed Cohen's first meet, national meet. And even though I opened with 633, I think Ed opened like 780. And he ended up squatting like 830 that day. And
right.
Like 660,
yeah,
7 or whatever. But yeah, I was like, man, this guy's from Mars. You know,
Yep.
I was kind of fooling myself. I got humbled very quickly.
Yeah, I tell you, it's that way out there. There's some guys out there that are just amaze the heck out of me.
I'll tell you another guy, and you're near your age, maybe a little younger. And that's Carl Tillman.
Oh,
You
I
know
know
Carl.
Carl. See, I'm originally from
Billy? You know
Columbia,
Billy?
South Carolina, and
Yeah.
as he's from Columbia. I used to work. I don't know if you ever know of Olympic lifter. You've heard of Soren, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Rick Soren's a good friend of mine. I used to do Olympic lifting with him back when I was in South Carolina. We worked out the PE center.
Yeah, in fact, Bill Gillespie was on last week, and he is actually one of the ambassadors for Sorenex.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my roommate is real close friends with Rick Soren. He's the only person I've ever seen take two 45-pound plates, smooth side out, pinch grip, and walk them down the hallway.
Why was that?
He would take two 45-pound plates, turn them smooth side out, pinch grip them, and walk them down the hallway.
And this was for entertainment
This is
value?
this is back in probably 75, 76.
Oh, man. Yeah, we've got to put that in our agenda as one of the events. We've got to come
Yeah.
up with something original.
Oh yeah, he
The
could do
waist squeeze.
he could do pinch grip pull-ups on the 2x4s. And he's a big. Have you ever met him?
Who?
Have you ever met him?
Who was it?
Rick Soren.
No, I haven't.
He's probably 6'3", 6'4". I don't know what he weighs now. I haven't seen him in years, but he was about 240, 250. He's
That's
big.
pretty awesome.
I bought one of his hand grip things that he has made where you can either stand on it or put plates on it, and kind of like the Captain's a Crush thing.
So what are you squatting now in your workouts for a rep?
Right now, I probably I'm going. I've been last week I did 500 for 3 sets of 8. With just a set of briefs on.
Yes. Okay. So when does that transition to the next phase?
Well, whenever I find a meet that I want to go to, I'm hoping in November and December I'll start ratcheting it back, and then probably I'll go with my briefs and the straps down probably about 2.5 months out.
Tom, I want to see you at Worlds.
Oh, I want to be there.
October 18th.
Oh, October 18th. Yeah, I'll be there. I don't know if I'll be able to lift at that one. I don't know. October's not too far away. Yeah.
You got time.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. And where's it being held at?
You just started, man.
Where's it being held at?
Charlotte.
Oh, okay. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
You still have kin down here, don't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Where did you go to college?
University of South Carolina.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. When I was a freshman, do you remember the guy that played? You remember the guy that played first string right guard for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Steve Carson?
Yeah. Yep.
Good friend. He was a senior when I was a freshman, and he was 265 pounds, ran a 4.6 40. He played for the Steelers, and he was a physical phenomenon. Yeah, he was.
Who were some of the other guys?
Wasn't real high on the academic stuff, but he was good on everything else.
Yeah. So what was your major in college?
Accounting. I'm retired now, but I've been an accountant for about 30 years.
Okay.
I started out in the insurance business.
Okay, now let's see. We've gone through, and I got to have a crib sheet here.
That's all right.
To help me. Okay, the mentor. Who was your biggest mentor starting out?
In Columbia, South Carolina, when I was a teenager, there was a guy by the name of Billy McElveen and Woody Sly.
And as you got older, did you Your
They
mentor.
don't. I don't even think either one of them work out anymore. But now, I still talk to Steve Goggins a lot and Curtis a lot.
Okay, that's quite a group. Do they ever work out over there at your place?
No, Curtis is. They have a gym called Marietta Barbell,
Right.
and
Yeah,
then Steve, he has a gym in his house. He's got a monolift in his basement there. He's got a bunch of guys coming over there, and I don't usually go over there. I've been going over to Kerry Callahan's gym, which is in Roswell, which is basically a powerlifting and strongman gym.
Now, are things open over there in Georgia?
Well, in Curtis's gym, they do the distancing thing, and Callahan is just come on in and work out. And I would rather do that. I don't go by all that stuff, which is, it's fine if somebody does. I know my sister does, but I don't. I want to get in there and work out.
Right. The whole idea between this backyard series, I thought I'd talk to you about that a couple weeks ago, possibly, about the backyard challenger. So many lifters do have access, no matter if it's their gyms or their homes, and they haven't had any place to train or really go and compete. I know a lot of different federations are trying to maintain their original schedule, which that's going to play out probably not as well, simply because a lot of those same gyms they were going to have those events are closed, or they've got a limitation. So this is why we organized that whole idea of bringing it a smaller mini-meet to a private location. And you and I talked about that and the feasibility and practicality that would bring to the lifters. But at any rate, I'm looking forward to seeing you down the road. I love talking with you.
I love talking to you too. I really think a lot. You guys run a great federation.
I appreciate it. And you bring so much class to it. You got to hang with us.
Well, maybe low class, but that's okay.
What's that?
Maybe it's probably low class, but that's okay too.
Come on, man.
Okay.
Well, Tom, have anything for me? Any questions that you want to?
No, I just appreciate all you've done and all you're doing and stuff like that. And I really like the federation and everything. And hopefully we'll be doing some stuff together here soon.
Absolutely. Well, have a great day, but also a great week and a great summer. Get out once in a while, which is always kind of rare these days. But
yeah, tomorrow's my squat day anyway.
Okay. Take care of yourself.
You take care, Bill. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.